Hello, how you doing? Welcome to week 2 of Culinary 108. It's the front of the house service. Hopefully your weekend was good. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your input on your assignments and the forums. Please remember to do the assignments on time. Please remember to put the forums in on time. It's very important because that'll be your participation grades, and it's also going to be your attendance. So what you need to do is make sure that happens. And what I will be doing on Monday of the next week, I'll be doing all the grading. Okay, so going into week 2, we're talking about service styles, service techniques, steps of service, and we're going to go through that right now. So I'm going to go through the Edgar's Grill steps of service. And I have a video that's going to be going with this. I got different videos that are happening that you can look at. And hopefully you're Googling or on YouTube, you're doing the next video that might be popping up next to the screen. There's some really great training material for you for the front of the house. So let's get into steps of service, all right? Steps of service are critical for the restaurant. You have to have some kind of system that greets the guest from step 1 all the way to they leave the restaurant. Very important that it is done. And everybody has to be reading off the same sheet of music, so to speak, correct? So everybody knows all the steps, everybody's doing it all in sequential, then it's a nice experience for the guest. The restaurant runs smooth in the front of the house, and the guest leaves and tells everybody they had a great time and they'll come back and visit. All right, so the first one is greeting. That's one of my big pet peeves. Big hellos and big goodbyes. That's what we have to have. That's why I have a host at the front door. I have or a greeter. I have somebody at the front door. If they're able to open the door for the guests, that's even better. Welcome them into the house. We're greeting them. We're bringing them into our house, our dining experience. So we want them to feel good. We need to get them to the table as soon as possible if their table is ready. So if they have a reservation, the reservation's ready. Right this way, Mr. Smith. If not, if the table's not ready, or say it's a walk-in, somebody coming in into the restaurant that does not have a reservation, then you can bring them over to the bar and say, I have your name, thank you, Mr. Smith, party of 4. Please go over to the bar and we'll get you when your table is ready. All right, so at least you're having that contact. So the guest comes in, you greet them, welcome, Mr. Smith. We have your table ready for you, right this way. And you walk with the guest. You don't sprint in front of them. You have the menus in your hand. You're walking the guest with them, talking to them. Hey, you know, did you have a great day today? Thank you so much for coming in. I understand you're celebrating a birthday. Have a nice conversation walking to the table. When you get to the table, assist the guest in sitting down, right? Assist them sitting down, and when they sit, then you present the menus to them. And then you tell them, thank you for coming, and Joseph will be your waiter. All right, and off you go. You're also a great seller. You could upsell. You know, we have a great special today. We have a great dessert today. We have a Grand Marnier souffle. We have great cocktails coming out. The chef has prepared a great fish. You can actually do some selling on the way to the table. All right, so, but you need to get in there and greet them at the door. Thank you for coming. Right this way to your table, all right? Step 2 is for the server. The server needs to get those drinks down in specials. So the server needs to come over. Hi, my name is Joseph. I'll be taking care of you today. You'll go through your spiel about Edgar's or about the restaurant that you're working at. Have you been here before? You know, if you have, welcome back. And then you get in, we have a great wine by the glass today. We have a great special on the wine, we have a special on the drinks. How about a cup of coffee? How about some tea? How about some bottled water? We have, you know, Pellegrino, sparkling water, or a Penne. You don't want them to have Augusta's finest water, right? You don't want tap water because it doesn't cost anything. And it actually, we lose money because we're putting ice in there and we're putting a lemon in there. So it really is not beneficial for us. So you want to get those drinks in. You want to get the specials explained to them. And you need to do that within 2 to 3 minutes of them sitting down. Okay? So then, the drinks, when you get that order, when you put the order in, those drinks should be coming no longer than 5 minutes. No longer than 5 minutes. You have to have those drinks down within 2 probably. You need to get them in as soon as possible and get the sodas or get the cups of water if they request it. Don't automatically bring water unless they request it. All right, so we're getting those in. Then we're gonna get the appetizers, right? You've rung in appetizers. So about 5 minutes into ringing that order in, that you sent it to the kitchen, you should go back and see if they're up, see if their orders are up, because the kitchen's probably gonna be pumping them out about 7 minutes. Between 5 and 7 minutes, an appetizer should come out. Between 12 to 17 minutes for the entrees. I mean, it depends if it's a well-done steak or not, right? So that's just a real quick one. You get an appetizer, talking about appetizers. All right, step 1, you greet them. Step 2, you get their drinks, tell them about the specials. Step 3, you get an appetizer out to them. Step 4, you take their order for their main entree, letting them know about all the great sales, what your favorite thing is, and be a suggestive seller, right? They call it the Sullivan nod. Every time you're looking, can I get you another cocktail? How about a fried lobster tail? They're really good. You got that nod, the Sullivan nod. It's a positive nod. That's a great tool in being positive on trying to get the guest to purchase more product, right? All right, our job is to be salespeople. All right, we're not just an order taker. You don't go up to the table and say, okay, what do you want? You should be suggestive. You should have your top 3. You should have your top 3 appetizers, top 3 entrees, top 3 desserts, top 3 wines, white wine and red wine, top 3 cocktails. I mean, you always have a top 3 list in your head, then boom. If you're a vegetarian or you're a vegan and you're in a steakhouse, you still should have some top 1 thing. And don't come out and say that I'm a vegetarian, I don't really like steak. It doesn't work well when you're in a steakhouse. So have something that you can tell the guest about our beef, Georgia beef, homegrown here in Augusta, Georgia. We got our shrimp from Savannah, Georgia. It's all about Georgia grown product. So you take that order, send in that first course. When you get close to that point of sale system, the POS, you can do it by course. You can fire the checks by course. All right. You gotta lay the first course down. If they ordered steak, step 5 is to actually send the course in. Step 6 is laying down the first course, which means, do you need a fork? Do you need a knife? Do you need a steak knife? Do you need a fish knife? Do you need a soup spoon? You need to put that down per table, per person at each table, right? So that table is gonna have a table number, correct? And then that table is gonna have positions, right, around the table for each guest. So you have to make sure everything's numbered sequentially. All right, so you deliver that first course. You deliver that, and then you fire the second course, right? As soon as you deliver that, you hit the send button and hit the second course to get that into the kitchen. That's important, all right? You gotta keep the progression of the meal going and letting the cooks know in the back is when you fire it, they're gonna start prepping that. And then once you hit fire, those cooks are gonna cook it out, bring it out as fast as possible because it's a la minute. It's gonna cook really quick, okay? So once you deliver that first course, you're sending the second, make sure you go back and talk to them and see how everything's doing. My deal is the 2 bite or 2 minutes when you go in and you say, how is everything? And please don't ask them when they have their mouth full. Ask them when they don't have their mouth full and say, hey, everything cooked to your satisfaction, best meal you ever had, whatever you want to say, okay? But you got to double check with them. And then if there's an issue, they need to get that done as soon as possible. You need to take care of it. And if there is an issue, you need to let the chef know, and you need to let the front of the house manager know that we have an issue with table 50, okay? So they can get over and talk to them as soon as possible and see what we can do to help them out. All right, so you do that quality check at step 8, step 9, you're clearing the courses out. All right, you're inlaying the next course, more silverware, or maybe you're just clearing everything off. When they're done and they're looking to have dessert, you just clear all the plateware away, and then you offer them coffee, you offer them a cappuccino, an espresso, a mocha latte, the double chocolate fudge torte, or fresh gelato that's made in-house, whatever you want to do to get them to get that dessert course in. All right, so you're clearing tables, clearing the table over. What happens if they have extra food? What happens if they only ate half the steak? Well, then you can ask them, would you like me to box your leftovers? And then you go back and you put everything in a to-go bag, to-go container, and then goes in a to-go bag, all right? And then when you're doing that, print off that check and have it ready to go. So then you can present their leftovers, and then you say, can I get you anything else this evening? And they say no, and then boom, you have the check ready to go, right? So you have that. The guest brings back the check. What I do is I always, when I present the check, I go back and I start walking away and I look over my shoulder and I see if they have the credit card out. And maybe, like I do, I always have it ready to go. When I know I want to leave, I just put my credit card out on the table and they know that they need to drop the check. So I'll just grab the credit card, make the payment, bring it back to them. Thank you so much for coming. Look forward to seeing you again, and then walk away. When you see them getting up from the table, if you are able to do it, if you're not at another table taking an order, get over there as soon as possible, help them come up from the table, walk them out to the front door. Thank you so much for coming in. Can't wait to see you again. My name is Joseph. I look forward to seeing you. Have a wonderful night. Right? Boom. Nice and simple. 12 steps. The video showed you that I'm going to show you has 10 steps, but pretty much the same style of progression of service is what you want. You know, big lows, big goodbyes, be attentive, and that's a big thing that you want to do. All right. Let's go back to steps of service. Is what we just did, and service styles. So that's steps of service. And certain restaurants, though, you're going to have different styles, right? Different styles. At Eggers and Eggers Hospitality Group, we have multiple styles of dining. You have the a la carte that we have at Eggers, and then right next door at the Selling Center, we have banquets. We have banquet style. So in banquet style, it's buffet. It could be by the plate, by courses, a la carte, all different styles. Family style. There's a lot of things that you can do with that convention center, the Selling Center right there, and a la carte. And we also have the brunch. We have brunch on Sundays at Eggers Grill. But different styles of restaurant service. And I have a video that backs this one up too, which is pretty neat. You have English service, and this is silver service or platter to plate. This is where the server will come by with a big platter of food and then with using a fork and a spoon and put that down on the plate for them. It's pretty neat. It's professional silver service. Mastering that technique is really difficult. We usually do it with bread, right? When we do the bread service, we bring bread and maybe we give each person a roll or a bun. That's kind of like English service. All right, the next one is the American service, and that's pre-plated, like we're doing at pretty much every restaurant we come to. So you have that pre-plated, everything's on the plate, comes right to the guest, you present it to the guest, and that's done. So that's American cuisine, or American service rather, that we use in American cuisine. We have the family service or French service, which everything comes on a platter and is placed on the table, and the guests can serve themselves and they slide that around. Next one's buffet service. We talked about buffet service. Everything, it's not at the table, it's away, so they got to get up, go to the buffet, get their plates, and then come back, right? It seems simple and really great for our server, but you have to be really on top of that table. All right, they might need some extra napkins or extra forks because they brought in multiple plates. Like when I go to a buffet, I bring 3 plates back, not just one. I have 3 plates. So you gotta be careful with the buffet service. You have to be on top of your table. There's Garridon service. Garridon is with the cart, and you bring a cart to the table and you make a Caesar salad. Maybe you do tableside pasta dishes, tableside salmon en croûte. I used to do that. Actually, I was doing at the Pinnacle Club. I was hand carving beef, the steaks. I had a ribeye, a rib loin, and a tenderloin. So I would go out to the guests at steak night, and I would say, how big of a piece of beef would you like? And I would cut the steaks right there for them, put them on a plate, and bring them back to the guys in the kitchen, and they would take care of that. So that's Garridon service, a lot of fun. I mean, they could do Kioki coffee, do coffee drinks off of that. But it's neat because it gets involved with the guests. The guests see the wow factor in making the Caesar salad or pasta or just plating the food up for them. It's really, really neat. So last one is Russian service. All right, Russian service consists of like the whole roast is presented to the guest. So you bring everything out to the host. It's all there. The host makes a quick cut on it, and then we bring everything to the back, and then we break it down on platters, and we bring it back out to the guest and lay it out to them. All right, so that's a pretty neat way of doing it, classical way. But as we see it here, we want to probably see buffet service. You'll see the French service, family style, a lot of places, and then you'll see the American service. That'll be the first 3 that are there. Okay. What else we want to talk about today? How is your projects going? Your projects going okay? Yes? No? Hopefully they are. Please email me. Do everything through the email address to me. Don't do it off of Moodle. Don't try to email me off of Moodle, because if you email me off of Moodle, I can't get it. It goes right to my junk mail. So email me on my email address at pvossenberg@goodwillworks.org. Okay, get that one. All your work, all your assignments, all the forums, everything needs to go through Moodle. So make sure you double check and just click on it on the assignment, and then you can just fill it out right there on the paper. You know, you just do it right there for you. I think that's it for today. Check out these videos. I had some fun with them. Let's see if they come up for me. I'm clicking on the computer in front of you right here. So we have the perfect 10-step customer service system for your restaurant. It's a bartender or bar manager that runs through it, a pretty neat guy. And then I have a series, food and beverage service, 1, 2, 3, and 4, which goes through the 10 phases of service, menu sequence, service styles, and the 5 senses in the guest area. So that's basically what we're gonna be working on this week, is working on these. Okay, and that's where the assignments. So I'll put some assignments out there for you, and the forum again, I'll be going up, and I think that'll be it for today. So hopefully you have a wonderful day, and look forward to talking to you on the next time. Let's see if we can close this off.